2, 3.
Bust it.
Power Connect Show. Power Connect. Power Connect Show. Power Connect. Power Connect Show. Your reliable program that gives you all the information you need to know about the power sector, professionals in industry, electrical products, government agencies, the stakeholders, and many more. Power Connect Show.
A beautiful evening to everyone out there. Of course, it's another Wednesday, and you know that when Wednesday comes like this, it doesn't go without something very exciting, something very, very interesting, something very, very fulfilling happening. And that thing is no other thing than your favorite program, the Power Connect Show. Here we are with the program once again. I want to say that for our Christian listeners, maybe it will still not be out of place to say, a happy Easter in arrears, though, to everyone. We are just coming out of the Easter holiday. I mean, okay, 2 days into after the holiday, after the Easter holiday now. And so we still can say happy Easter, in arrears. And for our Muslim brothers and sisters, well, it's still not. We know that the Ramadan fast is still on. So we can say Ramadan Kareem to every one of you. My name is Ademola Ben Cranston Adegoke, and the station is 102.7 Niger FM. Well, the program again is the Power Connection, and you know that I don't come alone. That I can assure you. I have my, co-anchor, my brother from another mother. I call him the BB, the man with the double B as his initials. BB Banji Busari.
Yes, the team is complete. BB and ABC, of course. When you hear ABC, of course, it goes with BB. I'm glad to be here. My name is Banji Busari. Where the celebrations are over. We had Good Friday, we had Easter Sunday, and then everything culminated in Easter Monday. Celebrations galore after how many days of Lent?
40
days of Lent, and people are back at work. I say happy celebrations in arrears, just as the mother said. It's going to be a very lovely edition. I can assure you so much in your interest. So much actually is going to be done on this program in your interest. That's what we do on the program. You are welcome.
Yes, we go right. We hit the ground running, and we go with we start with news and tidbits. And the news and tidbits I have here says that there has been an increase in electricity consumers. That is according to a report by the National Bureau of Statistics. And according to that report, it says that the number of electricity consumers rose by 410,000. From 11.71 million in the third quarter of 2023 to 12.12 million in the fourth quarter of the same year. The National Bureau of Statistics stated in its electricity report for the fourth quarter of 2023, released in Abuja recently, that the increase was by 3.46%. The report focused on energy billed, revenue generated, and customers by discos under the reviewed period. It stated that on a year-on-year basis, the number of electricity customers increased by 9.59% in quarter 4 2023 from 11.06 million reported in quarter 4 2024. So
good news, ABC, but I also pray and I hope that this increase in the number of consumers will be matched by the facilities, by the infrastructure, so that as the numbers increase, the quality of service would actually be improved upon, so that whoever is joining would also have good story to tell about the provision of the discourse across the polity. That's my hope.
That is the hope of everyone, though, that as the numbers are, the number of customers is increasing. Service to the quality of service
delivery will be much better.
We also increase. Anyway, we go for a short break now, and when we are back, more on the program.
Dear Ogbonge Eco Disco customer, abeg make you go our website www.ekedp.com/sts and enter your current meter number to check whether your meter qualify to upgrade to the STS2 version. If your meter qualify, we go holla you back. But if you not qualify, you fit apply for new meter and the ekedc go return the meter money to you over time. If you experience any wahala, abeg make you contact our customer experience team through the email or phone wey we provide. This na public service announcement from ekedc. ekedc, na we dey empower the quality of life.
You are welcome back. Like we said earlier on, one thing you can be sure of is that whatever we do on this program will always be in your interest. It is for you and nothing more. It will always be for you. And so we are here again to talk about things, in your own interest. Things where we say, na you, na for you. Sometimes person they know the thing where in supposed know we go benefit them. But today on the program we want to some of those things that you need, especially in this period. The rainy season is here. The rainy season is here, and we are all happy. I know that most parts of Lagos yesterday it rained in the night, and apart from bringing the cool weather, a change, in the very hot weather that we've been experiencing, we are also happy because rain also means, it means good omen for agricultural production, that, the farmers will have rain to do their planting and there will be food for everyone. Maybe as the rains come, some of the high prices we've been experiencing on food items will also go down. So that is, the bright side of it. But then, the rain also, the flip side of it is that the rain also comes with some challenges, especially for electricity users, and it comes with some risks. And to avoid those risks and to ensure that during this rainy period we do not experience electrical accidents, we are focusing on what to do during this rainy season, as electricity consumers. That is what we'll be looking at.
Yes, it is well said. Of course, the showers of blessing was all over Lagos yesterday, and I had my personal experience that I had is sound sleep. Whether there was light or no light, at least in my area, I slept very well. But just as you rightly said, the rainy season comes with its challenges.
It does.
Particularly with electricity. We see a lot of, first and foremost, maybe as a result of wind or some heavy rainfalls, you see electricity poles falling off, the wires falling off the poles, or you see some wires, you see some wire cuts across the road. Some vehicles may even knock off some of these poles, and then you find out that in the morning you see the wires, the lines on the road. There could even be flood, beneath which there could be wires, electricity wires, and all of that. So there's so much risk
to look at
as far as rainy season is concerned. So it's on our part. It behoves of us on this program to actually enlighten, to bring to the fore some of these things that could actually create issues of safety.
And the first thing,
that's the focus of this program.
And the first thing we'll be talking about here today is, if some of us we like green, we like green vegetation. We like vegetation to be in our compound. Maybe one mango tree there, one cashew tree there, one pawpaw. It's good to have such, but during this rainy season, if you have such in your compound, please ensure that if they are under electricity lines and they are almost touching, please trim them. Or maybe their branches are touching, because when it rains and the water on those plants, and then electricity lines too get wet, water is a conductor of electricity. So when water conducts electricity and it now mixes with the one on the plant, it can result in electrical accident.
Just as you mentioned trees and vegetation, it comes to mind, what readily came to my mind is an agency of government, particularly Lagos State government. There's an agency called LASPAC, whose responsibility is to trim trees. Lagos State has, in the last couple of years, even decades, has been involved in planting of trees along the streets, along the roads and all. Some of these trees have grown so big that they are already having contact
with power lines. Fouling power lines.
Yeah, I know LASPAC has actually been doing some work along that line, but there's still much more to be done. Because sometimes when I drive past or I walk, I see these trees, covering electricity wires, and I wonder
it constitutes
danger, risk to whoever may be crossing or whoever may be having contact with these trees. Yeah, it provides shade, but it comes with the risk. So that's something that I think we really need to look into as the rains are here.
Dear esteemed customer, Eco Electricity Distribution Company, Ekedisco, hereby advises you against careless attitudes in your daily usage of electricity to avoid electrocution. Electrocution is the passage of electrical current through a human body, resulting in death. EKEDC therefore advises you to be extremely careful when using electric gas cookers, microwave ovens, washing machines, irons, and so on when plugging in your TV, radio, DVD players, and stereo sets. Do not tamper with or attempt repairing your meter if it develops a fault. Invite a qualified electrical engineer. Also, this rainy season, to avoid electrocution or untimely death, be careful not to step on naked electricity wire or engage in any trading or business activity under high tension wire. For any electrical issues you have, call our customer care line on 0708 067 1170 and 0700 123 5666. EKEDC, empowering the quality of lives.
Yes, talking about we still on trees. If we started by saying that it's not bad to have vegetation inside your compound, but the thing is, when they are now fouling on power lines, on electricity lines, within the environment, they need to be trimmed. But in trimming them, we also need to say this: you may not be in a position to do the trimming by yourself. Please call EKDC officials, report to EKDC officials so that they can guide you, because if you do the trimming by yourself, it can be dangerous, and even if it doesn't harm you, you may go and trim in such a way that it forces, or either it bridges lines and causes outage in the whole neighborhood, or it even destroys the facility. So that is why you need guidance. You need proper guidance. So if you want to do that, if you want to do the trimming, except it has not grown to a level that it can fall on the line, and you can easily cut it off before it gets to that level. But when it is already falling on the line and you want to trim, please, you need expert guidance.
Let me also share an experience, and it's about time we also invite our listeners to also chip in. Let us share the experience. But for me, I know that Lagosians, some of us leave homes very early, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. When the weather is still very dark, people are hardly able to see, unless they carry torch or maybe some form of electricity. Overnight, there may have been heavy rainfall which may lead to maybe breaking
and
of storms and all of that. Some wires may fall across the road. Now, it takes a very vigilant person to be able to identify such dangers. So, what is to be done when you see wires crossing the road that you are already familiar with? You have been walking through this road day and night, but suddenly you just saw a wire. You don't know how dangerous it is. So what do you do, Demola, if you come across
well, you don't. One thing you don't do is to assume that there is no life when there is no life. There is no current, so to speak, to use the language that people will understand. One thing you don't do is to assume that there is no current in a downed line, as it will be referred to. When the line is downed, when it has snapped and it is on the floor, don't assume that it has cut off from the mains. Please, steer clear of it and call, report to the nearest.
Change your route.
Of course, you change your route and call the attention of the nearest ekedc office to it. But before you do that, in order for you to save other lives too, you may want to either put a barricade near it, because you are vigilant and you have seen it, some others that are coming around may not see it. So please do the public that service of saving other lives. Even when you have seen it, you may just look for maybe one big stone or whatever, so that you place, ensure that you do not go close to it, but place around it so that whoever that is coming will first see that stumbling block or that barricade, and he knows that, something is here that I must not touch.
ABC, you know that this program is not always for us, it's for the listeners, and that's why it's time that I invite them in now. The lines to call into are 0201 5151 027. I repeat, 0201 5151 027. The other line is 020 1515 2027. I repeat that too, 020 1515 2027. Those are the landlines.
I think for use of connection, the WhatsApp. Yes.
Okay. So I need to add the WhatsApp. 081 001 30349. That's for those who have WhatsApp lines to actually reach us through. 081 001 30349. Let's share your experience. What is it that you know that would actually benefit other people who may run into problems during this rainy season, particularly through electricity wires falling across the road? Then, Demola, domestic one inside the house, inside your kitchen, inside your living room, inside your bedroom. What are those things that may pose threats
during this rainy season?
Your bathrooms and all of that. What are the things that
one thing, there are some houses that are on swampy terrains.
Okay.
So there is a higher level of risk in such places, because you may have a wet, wall or wet floor. You understand? Which will have affected the contact points, the mains, for your electricity appliances.
And in Lagos, we are called state of aquatic splendor.
So
there's water everywhere.
There's water everywhere. So when you live in such a place, please, when you want to plug into the mains, ensure that you know that it is not the type, you are not plugging into an already wet outlet. If you want to plug your iron now and the outlet is already wet, maybe it is soaked, there is risk of electrical accident. There will be high risk of electrical accident. You understand? So, and if you want to, when you are using any appliance, in fact, it is always good to get yourself insulated.
Wow.
That is a big grammar which I will break down. How do you? Insulation means that you have protected your. You see, our body also conducts electricity. Electricity can pass through our body, but the only thing to prevent it from for electricity, even when it enters our body, the only way to prevent it from going through is when we are not in contact with the floor. When we are wearing, if you are wearing any footwear, you need to wear a footwear that will ensure that your body is not having any direct, because electricity in your body must be held.
What manner of footwear? Maybe we need to clarify that.
Very thick, like one that there are some. If you are using electric cooker, for example, you understand, you can also have, foot mat in the kitchen. Your foot mat in the kitchen must be such, and you ensure that there is no water, on the floor of your kitchen, because once there is water on the floor of your kitchen and you are on that foot mat, water will conduct electricity through your body. So, but when it is dry and you are on that, foot mat, which is usually very thick, it will not allow your feet to have direct contact with the floor. You are safe from electrical accident. So, and if you want to plug, ensure that your hands are not wet. You cannot, if you want to plug now and your hands are wet.
Grind, especially for our women.
Yes.
Who want to grind this, grind that in the kitchen. So the first thing is to ensure that they are well insulated.
And your water heater in your bathroom, is also, you need to be very careful with it. You understand? Because the floor, the wall upon which the water heater is hung may have been wet, and maybe there is a leakage in the connecting cable. Once that happens, even the water that will come out, can act as a conductor. So this is the period. The summary of this is that this is also the period you will call in experts to come and look at roofs? All your
leaking roofs. Can leaking roofs also be a form of threat? For instance, if you have a roof that's leaking and water is actually getting into those wires.
Of course, it is. So it's if your roof is leaking.
Yes.
If your roof is leaking, the water will not choose where it drops. It can drop, into the outlets, into the electrical outlets, such that your roof is leaking maybe by the wall, and water is flowing from the side of the wall and is going into electrical outlets. And you don't know. You just come. You want to plug. You understand? You want to plug in your electrical outlets. And there will be electrical accident. In fact, for those who are living in places in swampy terrain that the floor is usually wet, it may also be necessary that you place all your electrical appliances on a platform that they will not have direct contact with the floor. You understand? So you place them on a dry platform, maybe wood that is not wet, you understand, or maybe plastic that's not wet, so that because take your refrigerator, for example. Your refrigerator is metal. It has a metal base. So if there is water and the water is touching the refrigerator, and you don't know, you just want to, and there have been cases like that. The woman just wants to open the refrigerator. The refrigerator, it already has water at its base, and there has been some leakage. Maybe one open wire, maybe something like that. What you have is electrocution or electrical accident if the person survives it. So these are the things. This is the period.
To say that this is the period.
This is the
for
period
to evaluate.
Yes, you need to call in experts to look at your to look at, this. Don't just ignore any red flag that you see in the house. Maybe any, exposed cable, you just look at it. It has always been there. It is dangerous now because if water touches it, it will constitute, much more risk, than during dry season when there is no water touching it. So these are the things we need to do, during dry season. I'm talking about, I don't know, maybe we can quickly chip in this.
We need
this is also not the time when rain also comes with storm. We know that there will always be, sometimes like even that of yesterday, so much storm, So please, if you are walking when there is such, ensure that you are not walking, near or under electricity lines.
Or don't ever have any reason to park your car.
To park your car. Your car under the
power line or
and
electricity poles.
And when you see snapped lines, don't say I can quickly drive over them. Please don't drive over them. When you see
the tires are no insulators. Are the tires not insulators? So I'm asking.
The tires are supposed to be, but don't forget that you have metal rims. You understand? In the process of driving over, one could just, spring up and touches the metal part of the rim or anything. So please don't drive over. Don't drive over. This,
APC time will not permit us to continue to give them everywhere. But before we go, quickly, can we have a few tips? Want to highlight some of this before we go,
because of our time. I wish we have, but there are so many things to still say. We have said that vegetation in your house, ensure that they are not touching electricity lines. Get them trimmed, and in trimming them, seek expert guidance. Two, even you can call in experts to come and look at the electrical outlets in your house to ensure that they are all intact. And three, if you are living in a house where you usually have wet floor, please, you will need to go and place your appliances on a platform that will not
insulated. Don't forget that one.
Yes,
especially for our housewife, those who use kitchen.
Don't go to the kitchen when you are using electrical appliances, especially like cooker and even electrical. Don't use them barefooted, please. Don't use them barefooted. Ensure that you have a footwear that protects you so that it will not allow electricity current to pass through your body.
Yes, thank you very much. This certainly cannot be a one-off. This is a topic that must be repeatedly discussed as the rains are here, and the rain will continue for that is for the next 7, 8, 9 months. So we'll continue. We'll bring this topic up, and then we'll have certainly, as time goes on, we'll bring in experts
to come and educate us,
give us more information,
because
about
life cannot be created with anything.
How to actually take care of our safety with the coming of rains. Demola, we need to thank our sponsors. They've been so wonderful.
They've been so wonderful.
They've been so consistent. And as a leading utility provider, electricity utility provider, they've been there in the forefront, and they are doing very well, making sure their customers come first in the scheme of things that they do. And for this program, they have been our backbone. They've been very, very supportive. And we just continue to pray for them.
And we need also to thank our listeners.
Yes.
We are so sorry that you couldn't reach us today. The lines again had issues, but we want to assure you.
Don't worry. Next week I go make sure say I no talk throughout. Demola no go talk. All the talk self. Demola self go rest. So we go give una time.
So sorry you couldn't reach us.
So we just give you. It's an open day next week. So my name is Banji Busari. That's our package today. See you again next week. Bye.
And mine is Ademola Ben Cranston Adegoke. Till next week. Bye for now.
Kindly visit our website www.ekedp.com/STS and impute your current meter number to check the eligibility status of your meter to upgrade to the STS2 version.
If your meter is eligible, we will get back to you, but if it is not eligible, you will have to apply for a new meter, and note that ekedc will reimburse you for the meter over time. If you experience any issues, kindly contact our customer experience team via the email or phone number provided.